If you are diagnosed autistic or you know someone who is, you've undoubtedly observed stimming. If you are on the spectrum but you don't know it yet, you very likely do it too, but you might have a different way of describing it. Just what is stimming? Why do we do it? What are the consequences of being prevented from doing it? How should non-autistic people react to stimming activities when they see them? The term stimming is derived from the word stimulation. A stim is a repetitive behaviour that we use to help modulate our thoughts and emotions. Almost everybody on and off the spectrum stims to a certain degree. The medical term for it is stereotypy, which is defined as a repetitive or ritualistic behaviour or utterance. Likely every neurotypical person has been in a situation where they're deep in thought or concentrating on a speaker, and they start clicking their pen, grinding their teeth, or tapping their fingers. These are as much stereotypy or stimming as the sometimes more obvious habits employed by autistic people. Many of the gadgets marketed as fidget tools or toys now may have been, and sometimes still are, sold as executive toys for this reason. The key understanding in this is that when neurotypical people stim, it is at times of great concentration or stress. It provides the same function as it does for autistic people. It allows us to focus more on the task at hand and may help to relieve some tension. The reason autistic people stim so often is buried within the difficulties we have understanding neurotypical thought processes, and in no small part to the generally weak understanding of autism within the public at large. So when do autistic people need to stim? There's no easy answer to that, because the need varies between all of us. Many of us have learned to repress our stimming behaviours or redirect them towards invisible stims that are difficult for onlookers to detect. Some of us don't even notice we're stimming until someone tells us. Social interactions are, for most of us, the time when the need to stim is at its highest. It's when we feel the least certain about ourselves, suffer the most confusion, and are often stressful. The three most significant triggers for stimming are present: anxiety, concentration, and emotional stress. Unfortunately, it's also the time where our stimming is most obvious and can often be judged inaccurately as antisocial. The common perception is that our stimming, especially if combined with a lack of eye contact, is a signal that we are disinterested or not paying attention. The exact opposite is often true. Our stimming helps us to concentrate better, and stopping us from doing it reduces our ability to understand you or to cope with some of the things said to us. Stimming is also common at times where we are deep in concentration or hyperfocus, what we on this channel call the Autistamatic zone. I have an infinity cube at my workstation. When I'm thinking about the next line to write or doing research, I'll often have it in my hand, flipping it over and over. If it's not to hand, I can actually become quite anxious and everything must stop until I found it. The same happens in stressful or threatening situations. The need to distract the parts of our brains that are emotionally overloaded with a simple, repetitive action so that our conscious minds can stay focused can be overwhelming. Sometimes it's possible to redirect ourselves towards invisible stims, such as muscle flexing under our clothes or putting our hands into our jacket pockets, but when we're under duress, it becomes increasingly difficult to do that. We find ourselves stimming almost without realising it, which may worsen an already difficult situation. Finally, stimming can be something we do when happy or excited. It plays the same role of helping us regulate emotion and again is often unconscious. Sometimes our movements at such times can be more extreme than in other circumstances, with hand flapping being relatively common amongst us. It can attract a lot of attention and sometimes be cruelly mocked. There's nothing extreme or odd about it to us though. We recognise that people don't always understand our stimming, but it's perfectly normal from our points of view. It helps us regulate in a way that can be vital to our well-being. Not stimming, whether it be with a fidget tool, something we chew on, or just a repetitive movement, can be severely detrimental to our well-being. Does it seem fair to criticise or prevent someone from doing something that helps to maintain their mental health, just because some people think it looks out of place? We often talk on this channel about autistic people and non-autistic people meeting halfway when it comes to understanding our differences. Stimming is a great example of how this can be done in an easy to accommodate way. Some of the stims we employ can be quite noisy.
Get it away from the mic!
Sorry?
The microphone!
Oh. Beg your pardon. Some of the stims we employ can be quite noisy. My infinity cubes, for instance, fidget spinners, finger clicking and vocal noises can be distracting for those we are around. From the autistic side, we can find stimming tools or activities that are silent in order to avoid disturbing others. Stimming can help us concentrate, but it's counterproductive if it's distracting everyone else. From the neurotypical point of view, taking on board that our stimming is not what it may appear to be, and is often a sign that we are engaged with you, would go a very long way to allowing us to operate in a more natural and productive manner. If the one side understands that the usual rules about body language don't apply when we're stimming, and we do what we can to keep our stimming quiet when appropriate, we could make great leaps forward towards people on and off the spectrum functioning much better side by side. Stims come in many different forms, and those described in this video are just a tiny sample of the many sensory tools and behaviours autistic people use to adjust and augment our lives. As with any behaviour you don't understand or find unusual in an autistic person, please don't assume it's negative until you've asked them if it is. It's a fair bet that if you ask us, "Are you bored?" we'll give you an honest answer. One last point that is important for all of us to understand is that stims are very different from tics. Many autistic people do also have bodily and vocal tics, but these are unconscious reactions to stimuli. As with anyone who has tics, a speech impediment or a visible disability, mocking these tics or our stims is cruel and unacceptable. Mimicking someone's involuntary grimace or their flapping is not funny. It's incredibly insensitive. Instead, please try to ignore it and simply accept it as something that a person cannot help or needs to do to function. We hope that this film has helped you learn a little bit about what stims are and why they are part of autistic life. It's likely a topic we'll come back to again and again. Let us know in the comments below if there's anything else you'd like us to cover on this topic. If you have a favourite stim tool, maybe you could tell us about that too. Whatever your stims and the reactions they bring from those around you, remember, you're not just autistic, because every day can be an Autistamatic day. If you would like to join us on our exploration of Asperger's and autism and the way it continues to colour the lives of adults and young people throughout life, then please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell to be kept up to date with new content.